Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition, sitting next to Justin Kearns at, okay, I'm going to admit again, some place I've never been before, but they're still fairly new, so you can't really fault me for that.
That's okay, I haven't either. And this is like the worst thing. Don't come to a restaurant that you've never been to before when you haven't eaten lunch and it's like 4 o'clock and all I can focus on is like the food that's in one room over right now and this amazing drink. I don't even know what it's called, but it's absolutely amazing.
We'll ask Felix about that here in a second.
Felix about that,
so tell everybody where we are.
We're in Sojo. If you are listening to the show and you are from the area, then you may know where La Nicoise was. Mm-hmm. It's right there on kind of the back end.
Right across from Rouse Fire Hall.
There you go.
Where the fire trucks come out.
Yes, exactly right. He left, he retired from the business and closed down, the gentleman that ran La Nicoise, and this became available here and Sojo popped up. I don't want to say popped up. If you listen to their stories, there was no popping about it. It took a little bit, but they opened up a couple months ago and they are up and running now.
Felix Addison is here with us. He is the co-owner. We're going to drag Martha in before the whole show is over, we hope,
yes,
at some point.
Running the business, yes.
So Felix, give us a little background. Tell us about the journey to get to where you are, where we're sitting right now.
Well, we operate a couple of food trucks in the area. Roaming Bistro, brown UPS-looking truck, as well as 3 Fires Pizza Oven, where we sell Neapolitan-style pizza.
I have heard of 3 Fires.
Okay.
It's all coming full circle now, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, we moved out here in 2006 from Reston, Virginia. We just needed a little bit of elbow room when we moved out here with our 2 children. And we've always had it in the back of our minds that we were going to open a restaurant. But 2006, when we moved in here, was not the ideal time. So we detoured into a food truck. Got our first food truck in 2016. And 2 years later, got the second one. The rest, as they say, is history. So we do have some background in the industry, but this is our first brick and mortar.
It's a big leap, though, from a food truck to a full-on brick-and-mortar sit-down restaurant.
That is for sure. But that prepared us quite a bit. We got our feet and our hands and our whole body wet before we got in here. So we asked for this. We wanted this, and we've been waiting for this. Over the last couple of years, there's not been a time when followers or regular patrons have come to the food truck when they have not asked, hey, when are you going to get a storefront? Do you have a storefront? But you don't get a storefront because people want to see a storefront. You get a storefront when everything.
It is sustainable.
Exactly. That took a little bit of time, but we're here now, so it's good to be here.
And it took some time for you to get the space looking the way that it does. Justin and I both spent a fair amount of time oohing and eyeing as we walked in because it looks, I say nothing like what it used to look like before. It took some effort to make that happen.
It did. My wife knew exactly what she wanted here the first time she saw it. I had no idea. But Hopkins, Foursquare Architects, was the architect that we worked with to transform this place into the vision that my wife had. So a bit of work went into it, but it's all been worth it.
It is magnificent in here now.
It really is. It's beautiful. And the artwork in here, you were saying
the murals?
Who worked on the murals?
Art Libre, I believe is the name of the nonprofit Addisons here in Winchester.
They are the ones that also painted the parking spaces on Piccadilly Street.
They're the ones who did that. They came in here and we gave them what you call the draft of that, and they came up with this. And also Zach Anderson was the gentleman who painted the oil burns at the reception area you walk. So these are all local artists that we work with.
How did you come up with the name?
My mother's name Sophia and my father's name Jonathan. And I named my 2 children after my parents. So Sophia, so is Sophia, and Joe is Jonathan. So it's named after my parents and my children. Sojo. It's a hard J. It's not a Soho.
It's not Soho, it's Sojo. Tell me a little bit about the menu. What kind of food can people expect to find when they join you for dinner?
We say that when you come to dine with us, we take you on a culinary journey from the Mediterranean to the tropics. Our food is a mix of the Mediterranean flavors and southern Mediterranean part of the North African part of the Mediterranean. The warm flavors as well. Food is not very hot. And a bit of that is borrowed also from the Blue Zone area where it's been reputed that people live the longest based on what they eat. So we try to steal a little bit from
there. We go. So if you eat here, then you can live longer. You're probably not technically allowed to say that, but Justin and I can imply.
not saying that, but we try to make sure that we're cognizant of the food that we serve, where we get our menu ingredients from. We're very particular about that. We don't even have the microwave in here. Everything has to be freshly cooked, freshly sourced.
I was going to say this juice. So when we got here, he brought out this juice. He's like, "Are you thirsty?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm dying." And so he brought out this juice, and I thought it was like you get the thing in the back and you open up the thing and you pour out some juice for us. But this is not.
This is not ocean spray cranberry juice out of a jar.
What am I drinking here? You said this is a house specialty, so what am I drinking right now?
We call it Sobolo. Sobolo, S-O-B-O-L-O, is a very popular Indian drink. It's made out of fresh hibiscus leaves, dried hibiscus leaf, freshly grated ginger, freshly squeezed lemons, a handful full of cloves, a handful of star anise. We steep all of those ingredients together, strain it, chill it, and then pour it over a glass of ice, and then offer it as a serve. It's a palate cleanser, it's a thirst quencher, it's also the basis of all of our in-house cocktails.
You participated in the Winchester on the Rocks.
Yes, we did. We were fortunate enough to win that. The drink is what we call the Muddy Waters. It wasn't originally named after the blues icon, but when we first created the drink, it looked like that. The color was sandy and grainy, and we tried to twist the drink so that it didn't look so muddy. But the more we tweaked it, the further away it got from that taste that I really liked. And so we thought, why don't we just own the thing and call it what it is?
Oh, yeah.
And then it so happens that Muddy Waters was a bourbon drinker himself. So we owned it, and we thought, okay, Muddy Waters is it.
I think it's fantastic. I did a show several years ago with the Glaze Brothers, and we were talking about Old Town Cidery, their cider that they have, and one of them made the comment, we were talking about the apples that they use to make their cider, and he used the phrase that you can't taste ugly.
Okay.
And so that applies to this drink. It doesn't matter what it looks like because it tastes fantastic. This was a great choice from a menu perspective because there's nothing else like it here in town.
There isn't, and we knew exactly that we would not want to do what most of the restaurants were doing because they were doing it so well. We weren't going to compete with them doing what they do so well. So we needed to come up with something that was unique and different. And for us, it was a labor of love also because we cook that way at home. My wife and I both enjoy cooking very much. We love to entertain. Most of the dishes that are here, we've actually tried it at home and served it to guests before it even comes to the restaurant. That's how we arrived at that.
We should have been friends with him a long time ago. And then, right?
Yeah, it's too late. It's never too late.
The dishes that you have on the menu, you mentioned a second ago that they're not overly hot or spicy. What kinds of flavors do you have in some of your dishes?
We go for the warm flavors, the warm spices, your cardamom, nutmeg, the star anise, as I said, the cloves, that kind of thing. So that the melding of these flavors or of these spices and seasonings creates a whole different flavor by itself. So it's a question of making sure that maybe 3 or 4 of these spices will go with this dish, and 3 or 4 of these other spices will go with that dish. So that's how we come up with that. It's mainly the seasonings, really, the fruits and vegetables and such. So we make sure that we use what's in season as much as we can.
Which is very important. And this is a cool prospect for you because from a tourism perspective, tourists like to come to places and try something they've never had before.
Absolutely. People are looking for locally owned. They're looking for a new flavor, a unique flavor, something unique to the area. So yeah, this fits so beautifully into our menu, if you will, a larger Winchester area. There's absolutely nothing like it anywhere else. And just the amount of care that you have and that you've put into the operation and getting open and being involved in the community.
The experience.
It's all of those things you put together and your personal story of how you've been here and how you ended up here and how you ended up at the menu and the name of even the restaurant is such a beautiful story. And that's what people are looking for, those kind of unique stories. And so they can go home and say, hey, I went to this restaurant. It was named after his mom and his dad. And they have the best drink. This is a unique thing. So you put all those unique experiences in there, and that's what people are looking for to be able to go home and talk to their friends about. Because that's what you do when you get home, right? When you get home from vacation, you want to say, hey, I went and had this, and you can't have this around here. So I had a better time than you did sitting around here, wherever this is. So that's what people want to do, and this is part of that.
We're going to take a break so we can mic up Martha.
Apparently, the boss is here now.
And then we'll continue our conversation when we come back after that. Does that work?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're sitting at Bistro Sojo today having our conversation for Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. Justin Kearns is here with me. Felix Addison is here. And we come back, we're going to have one more person join us. So hang in there just a couple of more minutes. Just going to take a quick second during the break for a public service announcement. Winchester Little Theater, a place very near and dear to my heart, has discovered that ticket resellers are listing their shows online and jacking up the prices. But here's the truth. They only sell tickets through their official website, winchesterlittletheater.org, for $25 with discounts for students and seniors, but some of these websites are charging $45, $65, even hundreds of dollars. And while ticket reselling is legal, it hurts patrons and small nonprofit theaters like Winchester Little Theater. So before you buy, please check their website, winchesterlittletheater.org. That's theater, theatre.org. And thank you for supporting local theater. Welcome back to the Valley. Today, I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Winchester, Frederick County edition. Justin Kearns sitting to my right. We're at Bistro Sojo.
Yes.
Hard J. Felix Addison is here with us, along with Martha Addison. So thank you both for taking the time to chat with Justin and I today. I was joking, Martha, before you sat down that I had not been here before. Mm-hmm. And you walk in the door and you just feel at home. And that was your vision, right?
I think the building also, the age of the building dictated how we want the feel to come in, because you're in an old building, I couldn't make the ceilings higher. So I couldn't do the modern stuff, but I could do the comfort, the cozy, and then I had to make sure everybody gets welcomed. The artwork, I love art, so that was my thing, that I wanted some art, some murals up in here. The little girl reminds me of my little girl. And then we have the scene of the ocean. Giving you a piece, Zach Anderson did our mural for the hostess stand and the bar. Beautiful work.
I love the bar.
Yeah.
In case you haven't noticed, orange is my color. And I've been sitting here staring at those beautiful flowers under the bar thinking, I wonder if I could do that on a wall at home in my house.
Yes. Somebody actually asked me if we can do a wallpaper. She's like, I want a wallpaper of this. It's okay, cool, talk to Zach. Not an artist, but yeah. So we wanted somewhere where everybody could feel welcome. My son, when he was little, he had borderline celiac, and it was so hard to find restaurants. Now he's 23, so 20 years ago, nobody was making sure that you're gluten-free or you have egg-free, and most people didn't even know they had allergies. They just lived sick. And we found that out, and we used to love to go out too, and so we couldn't. We had to start cooking at home and make it special for him and us at home, and that's how we had the food truck, and I made sure that I made it special for anybody who has any kind of sensitivities. I'll make sure we have a gluten-free option, a dairy-free option, a vegan option, whatever, except garlic. It's really hard to the garlic and alum kind of sensitivities. We work on that, but most of the time you can come with any of your sensitivities and intolerances and know that there's an option for you.
And that's important these days because people are paying more attention to not just what they like to eat and what tastes good, but what makes them feel good and feel better. And if they go somewhere and can't order anything on the menu, that's not good for you either.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's from a tourism aspect too. So people are used to, you have your home base where you live, and you know the restaurants that will work with your allergies, and they're your safe thing. But then when you travel with you or someone of your family member members who have allergies, it's always a risk. They say, oh yeah, sure, we're gluten-free, I guess. And then they're not.
It's the I guess at the end that gives you away.
So there's an anxiety that we have definitely felt. We work with travel writers, we work with groups that come, and that's always a top thing of, hey, this person has an allergy, this person has food sensitivity. Can you be sure that the restaurant is sensitive to this? And we have our list of restaurants here that we definitely say, absolutely, it's safe to go here. They take it very seriously. And so that's a thing, that's a huge thing for tourism and for groups and for traveling, because there's an anxiety for traveling with that sensitivity. And I'm sure you guys know that. You live through it. That's amazing that you guys offer that here, and it's so important for you here.
And I feel like you have more space. It feels bigger than it used to. Like there are more tables, or there's something about it that makes it feel like you can get a lot of people in here for dinner on a Friday night.
You got a party, you said a party of 20 that's about to come in?
Yeah, there's a party of 20. But actually, I guess it's testament to the architect, Kyle Hopkins, who did this. We actually can fit less people.
What?
Yeah, because I think it was zoned for
65.
Occupancy was 65. And so we found out from the city, we went to get our permit, that occupancy was inappropriate. It was okay the whole time Addisons was here. But on our turn, they found out that
was called a grandfather clause that no longer applies.
Exactly. So now we see 50.
Yeah, 50 tops, but mostly 40. 50 includes the employees.
And that goes back to what you were saying earlier, Felix, when we were talking about having the food truck and then transitioning and then opening up this brick and mortar. Food trucks are mostly health department oriented.
Exactly.
There's not so much about building permits and occupancy or any of those kinds of things. Were you prepared for that when you decided to take this on as a project?
Not really, but I think Kyle really helped guide that process. Having Kyle, and then the landlord is also a construction person, so they both helped.
That's huge, because you could have had somebody who wasn't and wanted to argue all the way, and so understanding it is really a big benefit.
Yeah, so we lucked out.
And Kyle works with a lot of historic buildings. And
Yes, he does. If anybody knows how to do anything, I mean, he turned Pizzoco into Pizzoco from a gas station. So, yes, and it is one of the most beautiful pizza places you will ever go to.
Yeah.
But we love this. We're so excited, and we've heard such good things. You guys, it's hard to open, right? Because it's always rough, because you're like,
and
you're
it's
learning
winter
as you go, and it's winter. This is when people are not really traveling much right now. But when you open, it's like you're learning as you go. But you have to make that first impression, right? Because if you get 10 reviews online that are terrible, yikes, how do you dig out of there?
And people are loving you on social media. I am seeing people with photos and talking about how great the food was and the energy that when you walk in the door. So you're definitely doing it right.
We're praying. I told all the waiters, I said, if you get a compliment, it's okay to tell us in the kitchen, because we work really hard for each compliment. We're always remembering there's the next meal.
Do you have a favorite thing on the menu that is your favorite thing that you love to have?
I have quite a few. For appetizers, I tend to be more vegetable centered. So I do like the fried plantains with the beans. We have a couple of salads, which I love. Squash and burrata salad is the best. We also have a couple of other salads, but the salads are great. What's been famous is the grilled romaine with blue cheese dressing, which I didn't think it would be, but everybody loves it.
You know, these people, and I'm not one, but these people that love their blue cheese dressing will have blue cheese dressing on anything. You can put it on a rock. My husband is one of those people, and he would lick it off the rock. So, yeah, I think you've hit something there.
I would make the blue cheese dressing in-house.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's that same mentality. We need to know what's in everything. So I would say 99% of everything is made in-house.
Wow.
From scratch. For your meal, what I have found a surprise, our most famous meal is the chicken and couscous, which for me was like chicken.
Safety one,
The oxtail is really good. I guess come spring, we'll have to switch it out. But for now, it says all the more.
I was going to ask that, like seasonality and special menu items, you're kind of settled a little bit now and you got kind of a feel. Are you going to be rotating your menu? And
Yeah. I mean, because right now I don't have a lot of green vegetables, for example. I would like some spring peas and a lot of vegetables I can't find. We work with a farmer in Berryville.
Chili Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever they have is what I would make sure I have in here.
Are you only open for dinner? Are you open for lunch? Tell me a little bit about when people can come.
Yes.
So we are open only for dinner, Wednesday through Saturday, and we do have brunch Sundays from 10:30 till 3. Dinner service starts at 4 p.m. We go until 9. We do take our last reservation about 8:30. We might plan to open for lunch, but right now, it's in the distant future.
Do I have to have a reservation or do you accept walk-ins?
We do accept walk-ins, however, on Friday nights. 2 people can walk in pretty much anytime. If it's more than 2, as you can see, the space is kind of small. Ideally is to make sure that we have reservations.
And when First Fridays start again downtown on the mall, you're going to be crazy busy then as well. So.
But Wednesday and Thursday, normally you can come in.
Wednesdays and Thursdays you can walk in, but Fridays and Saturdays.
Gets a little touchy, particularly if it's more than 2 people.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, 4 people can walk in here. We probably can find a place for them. But Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday brunch right now, it's a little slow. We've just been doing it since November, late November. And so right now, brunch, you can come. We had a party of 6 walking the other day, so.
Brunch is a thing around here, though. I swear, brunch is a crazy thing around here.
See, I'm a huge fan of brunch because I don't believe that 8, 9 o'clock should exist. Ever. Especially not on a weekend. I am not an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock meeting person or having to be coherent at those times. So a brunch at 10 or 10:30, particularly on a Sunday, is right up my alley.
All right. People hear it on the radio now. People know.
Hey, I'm trying to convince Danita at the chamber to do a brunch and learn instead of the breakfast because
There it is.
I can't come to those. I always have something going on. What she doesn't know is it's called sleep. So where can people learn more? Where can they find your menu or learn about what you've got going on here?
So we do have a website, bistrosojo.com. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Bistro Sojo. We use social media more than the website, but Google has been picking it up too, so.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
For reservations, can people reserve online or do you have to call?
Online, you can do with us.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because again, we are advanced age, you gotta allow.
It's a big thing for people, the convenience and the safety of reserving online. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so you
Absolutely.
can reserve online
Fantastic.
through our website, bistrosojo.com, or you can reserve through Google.
Family friendly? Kids? People bring their kids?
We've had a couple of kids, but I don't know if I can say it's very kid friendly because obviously, unless your kid is very adventurous in what they eat.
There is that.
Yes. Our kids love.
Your kids also aren't
We
toddlers.
But even when they were young, it was hard to go to restaurants because the kids' menu was all French
Grilled
fries
cheese and French fries.
and they don't eat that stuff. They always wanted to eat our menu items because they didn't eat the stuff off the kids' menu. They wanted the grown-up stuff, and it was never on the kids' menu. So that was a frustrating thing. So that's expand the palates of your children.
We do have a couple of things in the back. If you say that your kid won't eat anything on the menu, we have some
Emergency backups.
Yes, that American friendly.
My kid is in his early 30s, so I am of the mind that I would come here because there aren't kids. I'm one of those people now.
Yeah.
And this is just such a great place, I feel like, to come. And because of how you've got it laid out, you're going to come and potentially sit next to 2 people that you don't know that you're going to leave being really good friends with, I think, by the time it's all said and done, which also lends itself to the experience.
That's happened a couple of times when people have exchanged phone numbers because they were sitting next to one another, had an interesting conversation. Sometimes it's about the food in the restaurant, sometimes it's about other things, and they decide excited to meet again.
Maybe new friend, yeah.
And if you're listening, it's not family style. You get your own table,
Right.
but they're small
Yeah.
tables and
Right.
they're fairly close to
Yeah.
each other. So I don't want people to think that, I'm going to be stuck at a big long table with a whole bunch of weird people. You get your own table. So if the person next to you is a little strange, you can kind of snooze a little bit.
Okay, Justin's insights into family style dining.
Yeah, it's right.
I lived in Boston. I ate at some places that were big family style things, and you sit down, and sometimes you like the people next to you, and sometimes you don't.
But you still have to finish your plate.
You still have to finish your plate.
Do you have any events or anything you want to plug before we wrap?
So we're obviously screaming into March and April and all of the things, right? A lot of things right now. So we've got restaurant weeks going on, that sort of thing. We also have a lot of VA 250 items that are going on. We've got 6 or 7 or 8. Gosh, I don't know. I was just making a list this morning of all the things in March. So there's a lot going on. Again, same thing. Visit winchesterva.com, click on the events tab, or we've got a VA 250 button right there on the homepage, and you can learn about all the things going on.
Thank you both for letting Justin and I intrude as you're trying to get set up for dinner.
Yes.
It's been our pleasure. Thank you so much for coming.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.